What's up, Houston? How are y'all? Today we have a very special guest and our first ever pro, Brandon Easterling. You want to tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yes, sir. First off, I appreciate you guys for having me. So Brandon Easterling from Dayton, Ohio, was recently drafted by the Houston Roughnecks. So that's how we've gotten in touch. So I'll be coming down your guys' way soon. I'm excited. I report in about a month. But so from Dayton, Ohio, went to an FCS, smaller Division I school, University of Dayton. I'm a safety. Um, and that's about it. I've had an interesting journey so far. I just graduated in December. I've had an interesting journey with football and getting some interest from teams, and then getting released and this and that, workouts, this and that. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity that Houston's given me, and I'm ready to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. So talk a little more about Dayton. How'd your college go? I mean, you're a great player, co-captain, won some awards. 2019 led the entire FCS in turnovers. So if you want to share a little bit about all that.
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people in Texas really haven't heard too much about Dayton. But like I said, we are an FCS school. Coming out of high school, I was a good football player, but I was probably 180 pounds soaking wet, 5'10", white kid, and there's a million of those across the country. And so, I didn't get the big offers, and Dayton, they had given me an opportunity, and I hopped right on it, being just in my backyard. And so freshman year, I kind of went in with the mentality that I wanted to play from the jump. So I only had one start on the season, but I played all 11 games on special teams. Sophomore year, I'm working my way back up, and I think week 4, I become a starter, and I get injured week 4. I miss like 4 or 5 games, come back starting. So I had a decent year that year, but battled some bumps and bruises there. And then junior year is the season that you kind of just hit on. That's when I kind of think put myself on the radar. It was great because that year we had a tight end who was drafted in the 3rd round by the Saints, Adam Troutman. And that was my All-American season. I think I led the country in tackles. And I think I was tied for first in turnovers. Maybe it was first overall, but I had a great year. And having a great season at the same time that he did was big for me because we had, a ton of teams coming in. So that following spring, I had a couple scouts come in and talk to me. And for me, that was kind of when it really set in that it was a possibility. Being from a small school, you always want to play at the next level. But, there's always that question of, I'm not an Ohio State guy or an Alabama guy. So it's kind of an uphill battle. So when they came in, like I said, it set it in perspective that it is possible. And then seeing, like I said, my teammate get drafted. And then this is when the journey got very interesting, because that was 2019. The following year, COVID hits, or that spring, I guess, of 2019, or however that fell. So we were actually one of the few schools in the country so everybody canceled their season in the fall, but we were one of the few schools in the country that canceled their season in the spring as well. So I went a whole year without playing. That was my true senior year. So I take a 5th year at Dayton, just, because I wanted to get my fourth season in.
Yeah.
And my draft grade wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I wanted to get some more film. And then my 5th year, I had a solid year. We only played 10 games. One of our games got canceled, and I think I was just over 100 tackles. I was voted team captain, which is huge for me. I think anybody who has ever played sports, specifically collegiately, they would understand, like, that really does mean a lot. So I had a good 5th year, good senior year, if you will. And then right after that, I get, a mini camp invite to the Giants. I'm there for what I like to say is a hot cup of coffee. I was there for 5 days, and they let me go, and then here I am now. So.
Yeah, and that's going back to that co-captain. That was something I told Brett that I really wanted to ask you about, being in a collegiate Like you said, being on a collegiate team, I really do understand like how important those captains are. It's more than I told him being a student athlete's a full-time job in itself. And
Yeah.
then the people that I consider the captains on our baseball team, that's a full other time. That's coming in every single day, just mentally bringing everything you have, physically bringing everything you have, and then not only helping yourself get better, but helping others get better. So, what did it mean to you being selected as a co-captain? What traits do you think you had that let Dayton give you the co-captain title and that you can bring to the Roughnecks?
Yeah, so you kind of hit the hammer right, or the nail right, or the hammer right on the nail, however the saying goes. But it was spot on because I always wanted to, everybody strives to fill a role like that when they get to be an upperclassman. But then you get voted captain, and it's kind of like, holy crap, like I got to take on this whole different aspect. And like there were times when I was feeling it, like especially when we were going through COVID. That's when I got hit with the captain. Like, and especially not playing fall or spring, like I can't even express sometimes like how tough it was trying to keep the morale up, because it's like you're just getting hit left and right with like, when are we going to play again? Like, when's COVID going to end? When's it? Like, it's just like, it was just like a never ending tunnel of just, disappointment. But it meant the world to me. I mean, just knowing that. So on our roster, we had 110 guys, just knowing that all 109 guys, looked at me and trusted me and believed in me. It meant the world. And so you asked what I think I brought to become a captain. It was great because we had 3 captains my senior year. It was me, my quarterback, and my running back. And we all kind of had our own personalities, and I think they meshed so well. Running back was very quiet, but he's going to be a doctor. Like, he is unbelievably smart. He is an All-American. He just graduated this year. He was a year below me. Jake Chisholm. But he was very quiet, but lead by example. And like, that's one of those guys, you watch him work and he does his thing. Our quarterback, just all around, like he was just a stud. He was vocal at times, and then other times, like he's just put his nose down, get to work. He was a great guy off the field in terms of, building the chemistry, getting guys to understand there's more than just football. Like, it's a brotherhood. I think the big thing that I brought was my vocal leadership. A lot of times, even starting freshman year, for some reason, I just took on this role of being a vocal guy. And just, when things are flat, or when even a practice, if it's kind of dead, or just being that guy that's like, listen, like we got to get this crap together because, it's all we got. So I think the big thing for me was vocal. Obviously, it takes a lot more than that. I always took pride in trying to build a personal relationship with everybody from the starters down to the incoming freshmen. My captain, my freshman year, Nick Surgis, he told me something. His goal that I'll never forget when he was a captain was, his goal was to make sure before his senior year was up that he had a sit down personal conversation with every single guy on the team. And outside looking in, like that kind of looks very minimal. Like but when you got 110 guys and you're as busy as you are, yeah. I mean, like that's like, it's, it speaks numbers. And I remember him telling me that, and that's kind of what I was striving for. Like, I wanted everybody to have, more than just a locker room practice relationship with me. And I think I was able to do that. So hopefully I can transition that to Houston. It's going to be all new faces. The thing that's a little different about Houston, rather than, if you will, like an NFL team, is nobody's really established. Like, obviously guys have different backgrounds, but like in the NFL, you join a roster and there's 10-year vets on the team, 5-year vets. I mean, we're all going to be first-year guys on this team. So we're all going to have to hash out our roles. So hopefully, I can fulfill the roles that are needed, whatever that is. So.
Yeah, and speaking of your teammates on the Roughnecks, did you ever watch Last Chance U on Netflix?
I did.
And you know who one of your D linemen is, right?
Which one?
Chauncey Rivers.
Okay. So I didn't watch. Which season? Do you know which season he was?
It was either one or two. It was when they were at with, I think it was Coach Buddy. Was that his name?
Yeah, it was with Buddy. That's funny you said. I think that name sounds very familiar.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to ask him how that was.
I mean,
I'll let you guys know what he says.
after I watched that, I was probably a freshman in high school, 8th grade, something like that, you know. And of course, after I watch it, I do the research on all the guys. You know, you want to see where they went and all that. And
Mhm.
I forget their quarterback's name, but he went to the NFL to play corner for a little bit, but ended up not making it. Forget his name, but John Franklin, I think.
Yep. He went to Florida State, I think. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Or he
so
came from Florida State. Yeah.
yeah. So I was doing my research on Chauncey because he was one of the main characters that season, and I think at least, and they followed him quite a bit. And it's funny, he actually made a few like rap songs, great songs, absolutely great
Okay,
songs.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. I know exactly. Yep, I know exactly. I'll have to. What we'll have to do is when we get in the locker room, we'll put him on the aux and we'll let him play all his songs for us.
Oh yeah, he was one of my favorites, man. But yeah, it was crazy. I was just looking through the roster and after the draft, and I saw his name. I was like, no way. So
Yeah.
I just thought it was pretty cool. I was wondering if you got to talk to him, but have you gotten to talk to any of your teammates yet?
So not since the draft. No, I mean, we like the DBs. We started a group chat and we've texted here and there. I know some guys just from past experiences. I mean, it's like that. I'm sure, like with you, like just like the baseball world, basketball world, like the networking. It's a small world, put it that way. So we got a receiver, Darius Robertson, who was with the Seahawks for a little bit that I know. And then actually one of the safeties was my roommate at the New York Giants rookie minicamp this past year.
Okay.
So like me and him were, because you share hotel rooms when you're at camp invite. We were there for 4 or 5 days. So he was my roommate for 4 or 5 days. So I know him as Jordan Mosley. And then I think there's Jack Snyder. He's a tackle for us from San Jose State. Me and him trained up in New Jersey together for our pro day up at Test Football Academy. So I know a few guys. I've talked to some of them.
Yeah.
But no, that guy I haven't met yet, but I will. So I'll have to ask him how last chance he was and stuff.
Yeah.
And so with the XFL already having all like the ups and downs that it had in previous years, I'm so curious how the draft, like how that happened, players getting their name into the draft, the whole draft process, and like what can you tell us that most people don't know about the XFL?
Well, starting with the draft process. So the thing that I'm learning is I think they are, and it's not a good thing or a bad thing. Like it totally makes sense. Like I think they are learning as they go as well, meaning the XFL. I remember when things, when I was first put on my plate was when I left the Giants. They started out with these showcases, and I got invited to a showcase, and then you go to the showcase. If you do well, you get invited to what they call the draft pool, which I'm sure everybody heard of. And there was a lot of guys in the draft pool. Like there was, I think at the end of it, I think it was like 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 guys. And then the draft comes in November, and it was really just as simple as just very similar to the NFL draft. You're sitting there watching it, and you're just hoping you get a call. I had teams call prior to the draft, and I was told by a few teams that they were going to take me if I was available. So that was reassuring, but that was also, you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. I heard very similar things in the NFL draft in terms of like free agency contracts and stuff. So still anxious, I was still sitting there anxious, and I'm watching, and then I get a phone call from my DB coach, and pretty much told me they were taking me. So it was standard. The only thing different from that in the NFL was it was by position per rounds. So it's kind of the draft process in a nutshell. Like I said, it was very anxious. I think a lot of guys thought it was going to be much easier to get into than it actually was. Like I remember when I sat down and crunched the numbers, it's 8 teams and it's I think 45 spots. I think they're bringing in 66 players for training camp. They're going to cut it down to 45, I believe. And I remember following the draft pool, if you will, and I'm like, they're like 70% of these dudes aren't getting drafted. Like it's just the numbers just don't make sense. And so, I remember like telling my agents like, hey, like we got to work, like we got to, because I just didn't want to miss the opportunity. I wanted to play ball again, get some more film. So it was tough. It was cutthroat. And I know you said you did your research. If you sit there and look at the guys that we picked up and a lot of other teams picked up, like there's a lot of NFL vets. Like I know in the NFL, you're no longer considered a rookie after, correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say like 4 or 5 games of actually playing. And like there's dudes on my team alone who have 2, 3, 4 years of experience in the NFL. So, I mean, it's a very competitive pool that we were in. So it was nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah,
that's one of the things about that's different than than like your Major League Baseball. Like baseball, you have your MLB roster, then you have AAA, AA, Single A, High A, Low A, Arizona Fall League, Dominican League. Basketball, you have your overseas, you have your G League, and then you have your NBA. There's really nothing for football. Like there's no more arena football really. It's Canadian, I guess. To go there, so
it's tough, and that's what like I remember when I left the Giants, when I left the mini camp, I called my agent, and one of the first things I said to him was, "I can do this. I just need to get," because I was only there for 4 days, and it was 3 practices, or 5 days. It was 3 practices. Like I just told him, I'm like, I need to get pads on, and I need to run around with these dudes and play with these dudes. And the thing I learned is it truly is above all sports. It is a numbers game. Like it simply comes down to like I'll tell you I always put it this way. In my opinion, the top 15% performers in the NFL, like those guys are top 15%. Like they are second to none. They're freaks. Like they're on a different level. You take that bottom 75 to 80% of every NFL roster, and those dudes are so similar to the first 300 to 400 free agents just waiting for a call. And like, it's just really just comes down to so many different things. Like the stars truly have to be aligned for you to get on a roster. And so it's a numbers game. So like when, leagues like this XFL pop up, like it's, the dudes are, it's going to be great football. Like I know it is. And it's just like the CFL and USFL, like the players in it are going to be quality players. So yeah, it's going to be competitive. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And seeing some of the players from the XFL before COVID shut it down, seeing some of them make it to the NFL, that gives you a whole lot of hope, doesn't it?
Oh man, without a doubt. It's funny. So my DB coach back here in the Dayton area, he, was a safety at Michigan. His name's Tyree Kennel, and he played for the Defenders for the first season and was picked up by Pittsburgh 2 days after his last game by the Steelers. And so like he obviously told me that story when we were training and stuff, and like that alone right there was enough for me. It's like that's all I need to hear. Let's go do this thing. So
yeah, and if there's I got one team right now that could pick you up in the NFL, man. Houston Texans. I'm sure you don't want to go there, but I mean,
listen, I would love to go there. Don't get me wrong, I would love to go there.
It's
I got a buddy. Yeah, I got a buddy who Jacoby Francis. I was training with him. He's a corner for you guys right now, and a great dude. But I'm seeing that they're kind of struggling, but they'll figure it out. The beauty about the NFL and any professional league is at the end of the day, it's professional. And even the worst teams in the league that season could beat anybody on any given day just because it's the best of the best. So don't give up yet. It'll come around.
Yeah. It's just the fact that we went from AFC Championship, and then to
Yeah.
whatever we're doing now in the span of what 3 or 4 years, just
Yeah.
just kind of puts you down a little bit. But I mean,
Yeah.
Houston Roughnecks, I mean, they were off to a great start. They had a great season last time they were playing, so I'm hoping y'all can repeat it, and I'm sure you will. We'll be at some. We'll probably be at most games that are in Houston.
Awesome.
So we love going to
Awesome.
stuff like this. So
Awesome.
we've actually been looking at season tickets, kind of just
Cool.
should we not?
Just
But
messing.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
definitely
flirting
come
with
see
it.
you
There
play
you
a
go.
few times.
Cool. Are we at the University of Houston? Is that
Yeah.
our stadium?
Yeah.
Do you guys know? Okay.
And so obviously we're happy about having y'all in Houston, but really it's not. It's 2 days in Houston out of a week. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. So
Kind
it's weird.
season and all that going.
Yeah, we had touched on that a little bit before. This is not 100% because I'm not completely sure. I can only reiterate what I've heard from other players as well as what I've been told from the operations on my team. But I think that every team is staying in Arlington, and then we are going to obviously like I was telling you guys, the Florida team, like they're gonna fly to their home games. I don't hold me to that. I don't know if that's for sure, but I have a buddy who's on the yellow and black, the Brahmas San Antonio team, and I think he told me that they were reporting to Arlington as well. So, and I know, and this I kind of had talked about it with you guys earlier. They're providing living for us, which is awesome. And I think a big reason for the one location is because it's most cost effective for providing living. Just throwing that off the top of my head, like I'm just going to make that assumption. So that's how it is now. We're going to be at Choctaw Stadium. At least the Roughnecks will. I think everybody else will for practice and training and stuff like that. And then, like I said, for our games, we'll relocate to wherever we're going. So
yeah. So have you ever? Go ahead.
That's on me. No, and this is the first year that I've really felt like this is gonna work out. Go through the whole season, and I think they're doing good, starting with smaller amount of teams. And I mean, the talent is insane, and they already have. I was listening today; they already have ESPN deals to play on ESPN and all that. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no doubt, it's gonna be cool. I think they have three different TV deals. They have ESPN, and then NBC, ABC, one of those maybe, and then one other. I think they have one of the larger. I mean, when you got The Rock running the show, or a co-owner, so he's not completely running. But when he is one of the faces of the league, I mean, your networking is going to be through the roof, and like everybody's going to want to work with him, along with everybody else, obviously that's running the show. But I mean, he's going to be able to pull a lot of strings, I'm sure. That's going to help the league out, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's good because I'm about to start a new job, and the shift I'm gonna be on shift, so it's gonna be kind of difficult for me to just be off every game day. But I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there like that want to watch the XFL, so that's great that they can do that, watch it on their phones, whatever, on their break. So because I remember last time the networking was good, but it wasn't. From what you just said, if that's true, then that's a big upgrade in that area. So, But yeah. So have you been to Houston at all?
No. So I've been to the state of Texas one time in my life, and that was a month ago to the NFL Alumni Academy. I was there for 3 weeks. I was in Fort Worth. This is another thing that just threw me for a loop. Apparently, Dallas isn't even its own city, I guess. It's like there's Fort Worth, and then there's I don't even understand it. But so I was in Fort Worth. I thought it was Dallas, but I guess it's Fort Worth. But no, I've never been to Houston.
Yeah, well, you'll see. It's a lot different than Dallas, but
it is very different.
The food. Try not to gain too much weight, because you'll find a whole lot of food down here that you're gonna love. So
that's what Cameron was saying before we got on. He said the food is going to be different, which is good. That's what I want.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
looking
I mean,
forward to that.
we got Mexican barbecue, good Asian food. I mean, it's you got a little, you have literally a little bit of everything because Houston is such a melting pot of cultures that you go to one
Yeah.
part of the city versus 10 minutes down the road, you're in a completely different area. So, but
You guys are gonna have to after this is done. You guys are gonna have to text me some of the spots to hit,
Oh,
and
I
I'll take some of the
got you.
guys, and we'll let you know how it is.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so, obviously, without Houston, because that's number one, are there any other cities you're looking forward to traveling to, playing in out of the, there's 7 other cities?
Yeah, 7 other cities. I'll tell you the one that I'm really looking forward to is Seattle. I don't know why. I want to go places I've never been. So I've never been to Vegas either. So Vegas would be awesome. They haven't released a schedule. I'm sure, as you guys know. So I don't know where we're going to be traveling, but I think when I think of Seattle, I don't know. I think of a pretty cool, like, you guys have seen Twilight, I'm assuming. I haven't yet. So like those forests, like the super tall trees, and I don't even know if that's what it's like, but for some reason that's what I picture when I think of Seattle. So I'd like to see that area. And then Vegas would be cool. I've been to Orlando, I've been to DC, and then all the Texas areas would be cool to see too. So really, I mean, to be honest, every city other than DC and Orlando is going to be new for me. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, there's I don't know about Seattle. I always thought that was a made up place. I never believed it was real because you never know someone from Seattle.
Yeah.
I've never met
And
anyone that's from
I have
Seattle.
met one person. One person. She played soccer at my college, and she was awesome. She was super cool, but that's the only person I've ever met from Seattle.
You just debunked my theory, but yeah.
While we're talking about Houston, I'll give you like the rundown. I genuinely think we have the best fans. You especially look at what the Astros are doing right now. I mean, we had Yordan Alvarez come out to a Dick's, and there was a 3-day waiting line in front of Dick's for an hour-long like signing and photo. Just they're out there. Jeremy Pino went to do like a commercial at Cane's, and they lined the drive-through up for 2 days before like just parked their cars. And so Houston fans are different. I went to the Roughnecks Twitter account. You already have 60,000 followers.
Yeah,
And you haven't played a game yet. And so I think you got lucky coming to the Roughnecks, and
that's awesome.
I know we're lucky having you on here, playing for us, and now being able to talk to you and ask you questions.
Cool. That's what it always helps having. Whether you agree with it or not, I just would take it to my grave. It always helps having a fan base. I mean, it always helps having people in the stands pushing for you, and especially when you're in an environment that's pretty hostile. Like I've been in some pretty hostile environments in college, and I mean, there's moments where you're like, "Damn, this just sucks." Like nobody in this stadium likes me, and like they're yelling stuff. So that'll be cool to get to experience on the other side of the table for once.
Yeah, and like you were saying about the fans, I mean, no pressure, right? But our fans, I wouldn't say they're hostile, but they're pretty quick to jump on the hate train if you do one thing wrong. I mean, but for the most part, our fans are great. I mean, the Rockets are I think the 3rd worst team in the league right now. 1 week ago, they were the worst team. So, but they still have 90% attendance rate every night. I think it was 95 the other night. Texans still have about 88% full capacity every game. So, and of course the Astros basically sold out every game because they're winning. But you're gonna see a lot of fans. Just make a name for yourself there, man. Because once they see you do something good, everyone is gonna love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Hopefully, I can establish myself to where I can just move down there permanently, and people will like me.
I was about to say, I was like, I can't wait to watch you play on the Roughnecks all year long, but I wouldn't be too upset if you got that phone call real quick.
Yeah, no doubt. That's one of the awesome things about the XFL is they're making it very clear that one of the big goals is to get us to the NFL.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of these leagues, sometimes where they might go wrong is they try and compete with the NFL. And it's like, I mean, that's just like a David and Goliath. Like that, you can't really outcompete the NFL.
No.
And to sit back and be like, okay, let's work with the NFL and they kept telling us how they set the schedule up to where once the season's over for us, like the timing is supposed to be like perfect in terms of that's right when OTAs start for teams or workouts or something like that. So it's going to be an easier transition than coming from one of the other leagues. And that's just kind of one of the little things that I guess they're doing to really help get their guys to the NFL. So that's good to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that the schedule doesn't really combat with the NFL. I mean, now we got football pretty much all year long, so can't complain about that. And
it's nice,
like you said, if we'd love to see you in Houston forever, but we really hope you're not with the Roughnecks forever. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, right.
We'd love to see you at NRG Stadium with the Texans. That's where I prefer you.
I'm with you.
Because man, you hit hard. We were watching your film.
Yeah.
You hit hard.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's football. You got to hit hard. I feel like if you can't hit, you can't play football. Sometimes you feel it. Sometimes some of those hits, I'm like, damn, maybe I need to chill out a little bit. But it's you'd rather be the hammer than the nail. So it's just part of the sport.
Yeah, I mean you some of those plays. I mean, it looked like you made him look like Antonio Brown. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I can say that, but yeah. So, excited to see you play. Also, a little off topic, but I saw on your bio that you were a 3-sport athlete. Is that right? Was this in high school or college?
Yeah, this was high school. This wasn't college. No, I'm not that gifted. No, I'm not on that level. But yeah, it was in high school. I grew up my whole entire life 3 sports, probably since the age of 10, maybe even a little bit earlier. Just 3 sports year round. I don't know what it was. I just loved being active and loved the camaraderie and the brotherhood with it. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
So how
was
good were you
that
in basketball?
No.
So I was a football player playing basketball. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys, but I'll tell you, I was never getting out hustled. If it was a loose ball, it was mine. I promise you, it was mine. I was our point guard. I led the team in rebounds because I'm down there in the mix, just banging with people. Didn't turn the ball over a lot. I wasn't ever going to go out there. I think I scored more than 20 twice in my career. I was like more of like a 5 to 15 a game type of kid. You get 5 fouls for a reason, so I was gonna get my money's worth. I was gonna get 3 or 4. But I was our hustle defensive, like role player, just aggressive, guard the best guy, just irritate them, hold them to under 10 points. We were actually in high school. My high school was more of a basketball school than it was football. We struggled in football, but in basketball, like we were one of the best in the area. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So you hear
everything you just described was him, by the way. Was Cameron.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Every team's got to have that.
Nothing wrong with that.
You got to have that guy.
I think people find stuff wrong with it. Like goes into pickup, and y'all are just playing 2-on-2 and 3-on-3 when you play like that. I think that's where I get some of the hate from that. But nah, I agree.
Yeah.
So you do get that like mixed about like. I'm sorry. What?
You just gotta chill and just be there and have a good time.
that ain't me.
No,
but so you hear like that's not me at all. So you hear
no, I think there's a little bit of lag.
Uh-oh.
I was just saying you gotta pick up. You just gotta chill a little bit. That's all it is. You just gotta be there and have a good time.
Now this man, he's no chill at all. Just 100% competitive. If we were to build a puzzle, he would count how many pieces he did. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like he's that kind of guy. So, for sure. But Cameron, you got a question?
Yeah, so you hear different coaches talk about, you need to be baseball specific or football specific and focus on this all year round. Do this. Where do you fall on that line?
Well, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Okay, it's back going.
All right,
We had a little connection issue there, but yeah, you were talking.
I think you were talking about multiple sport athletes, right?
Yeah, I was trying to get it back at the multi-sport athlete. Like sometimes you hear coaches say, "Hey, train baseball specific, go football specific, do these workouts," and sometimes you have coaches like he's in the news right now, but I know Deion Sanders is really big about playing as many sports as you can, just being an athlete. Where do you fall on that line? And then how do you think the other three sports have helped you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat Deion's in. I've actually heard coaches that coached me and coaches that were other schools pretty much say if it comes down to two kids who are the same exact, whichever one plays more sports is getting the scholarship. I think focusing on one sport is meant for college and professional. I think in high school you're still developing, and it's very important to learn how to get your body to move in ways that not just one sport will teach you. So like basketball, for example, for me, my lateral movement was you learn so much from basketball just from that. And then track, like that's my linear speed, my straight line speed. That's where you jump, when you're doing field events and stuff like that. And then it's just the whole aspect of competing year round. Like when you're in high school, if you just do football, like you only have football season to like compete against dudes. And then you're going to sit here and tell a 16, 17, even 15, 18-year-old kid to stay on the grind through winter, through spring, through summer, just for that season again. It's like, and I guess some states have spring ball, but like Ohio didn't. So it's like, I don't know. I've never understood that concept. I think the more sports you can play, the better. Just because in some aspect it's going to translate to sport you are truly trying to pursue.
And going back on training, what's your off season looking like right now? I mean, you've had a weird from finishing your season up, Giants, XFL starting in February. How are you going about training?
Yeah, so our strength coach for the Roughnecks just sent us a program that I've been on. I can tell you guys, it's no joke. It is, it's not easy. But so we're going Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday of lifting and conditioning, essentially, or lifting and running, agility, stuff like that. And then we're mixing in our drill specific or position specific stuff each day as well. So I got some trainers that are, I'm doing the program, and then when it comes to the drill specific stuff, that's when the trainers come in and we, get my feet right or whatever it might be. So, it's intense. I'm definitely, the days off, I'm taking advantage of it. I'm letting my body chill. So.
And is this happening at like a facility or like your backyard, 24-hour fitness?
No, I got some facilities. So, I got a place about 15 minutes from my house called Enhance You. That's where a lot of the collegiate, professional, and like good high school football players will go to train. And they got all the good stuff. And then I got another weight room too that I go to. So it's when you're training with just your trainer, sometimes you just got to make it work. So like we got another football field that we'll go to sometimes, but there's like three main areas that I'll kind of just rotate at as long as I'm able to get my work in. So
Mm.
Good, Cameron.
No, I was moving it to you. I've been talking a lot.
Well, he answered pretty much all my questions. Yeah,
Dude, I wanted to have any questions about Houston. Is there anything about Houston you want to know? I know you won't be here, so Texas, anything like that?
what's so I'll tell you, being from Ohio, I think of Texas. I think of hot, dry, but it's going to be in the spring. How do I pack? Do I pack for like? I'm hearing that it does get cold, and you guys do get like mate. Do you guys get snow? Like, do I gotta bring hoodies or can I just, because like right now I'll tell you, it's cold. It's very cold up here. Snow, crap weather.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
well-
I'll take this.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take this one. So right now it got up to 81 degrees, and it's December 7th. It is very humid.
That's not.
No, it's very humid. When you're in Houston, when Dallas, you're fine. You don't have to worry about the humidity. But like Houston, you walk outside and you're already breaking a sweat.
Wow.
What's crazy here is that you'll go through December being kind of hot, and early February is the coldest month we have, and we will have like, I'm sure you saw about our little freeze thing that we had. No snow, it just froze and we had no power. But it's like there's like 1 to 2 weeks in February where it gets 28 degrees, which I'm sure is nothing for you. So
Yeah.
I bring a hoodie or two, lots of shorts. I'm a big Lululemon fan, not sponsored, but I think my whole closet's Lululemon. I don't think I own a long sleeve shirt. If anything, I just throw over my athletic hoodie, but
Yeah.
I think short
You would
t-shirt.
survive a day up here.
Yeah. Playing in Houston, like you said, the humidity is insane. I mean, like there's days where it's 90% humidity outside. So, from experience and playing football over here,
Mhm.
drink too much water because
Yeah.
you will
Cool.
get cramps in Houston. I mean, whether you play through it or not,
It's gonna happen.
you're gonna get a cramp a game.
Yeah.
It's bad. So, but
Got you.
I mean, the cold weather games that you're gonna play here, 40 degrees. So,
See, that's money for me. It might be a little cold for you guys, but I'm cool with that.
Yeah, you might have a
So-
lot of those. You might have a half of that, and then it'll pop up by 70 for no reason. So.
it'll bounce back up. Okay.
yeah, like last week
Cool.
it hit. I think last week it almost got in the 30s. It was about like 42, and then the day after that it went
Mhm.
back up to 81. So it's really bipolar. You got to use the weather app. There's no like just assuming it's going to be cold or hot. I wake up every day before I go to work and look at my weather app. Keep a jacket in your car just in case it gets colder later on in the day, because it happens. You can wake up and it's 80 and go to bed at 30. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, just be
That's
prepared for anything.
it's like that. It's like that here too. I remember, I'll never forget one day I woke up with snow. The middle of the day I was sweating, and then at night it was raining, and it was like, how did this? Like, we went from snow to extremely hot to rain, and I'm just like, I don't even know how that's possible, but
Yeah.
so I think I'll be all right.
So I don't know about. Go ahead.
My last advice: always have an extra pair of shoes in your car. Like if you're walking around town in your nice shoes, it rains so much, and it'll just come in with like a 15-minute like pour down,
Gotcha.
where you're fine the rest of the day. It's just the streets are messed up, so you might want to.
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
a pair of socks and shoes in your car at all times. But another thing I gotta say is I forgot what I was gonna say. Thanks, Cameron. I forget. Keep going. Never mind. Continue on. I'll think about it. I'll remember it.
I'm a shoe guy too, so I will. I enjoy my sneakers, so I'll make sure I keep a.
What are your 3 favorite pairs you got? Hold up. I'm about to go brag on my girlfriend a little bit.
Uh-oh. My three favorite. I got some fire. My favorite for sure is my fire red threes, and then my cool gray fours. Those are probably my top two.
Yeah, I remember. Cameron, go and show your. Go ahead and show him yours, and I got my question. So.
All right. So my Valentine's Day gift last year was I got custom Air Force Ones.
What? What skyline is that?
That's Houston.
Is it? That's Houston? No
That's
way.
Pacific.
Show me the
And then
page.
we have this like once you're going under 45, like our big slogan is be someone on like this great bridge. So we got the be someone on there.
Wow. How cool is that?
And then I got our little Travis Scott Astro World side. On the
Hey, you might have to hold on to her. She seems like a good one. That's awesome. That's a cool gift.
I like that one a lot. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So my question for you, I don't know. If, okay, can you? I'm going to say something, and I want to know: can you do this in Ohio? Can anyone do this? Okay. So us in Texas, especially in the South, we can walk outside, take a breath of air, and tell if it's going to rain in the next hour. Can you smell the rain?
And it's because yes, you can smell the rain. So I'll tell you what that is, because you guys talked about the humidity. It's like you can feel it, you can smell it. It gets a little windy, like the wind kind of picks up a little bit, but yes, you can smell it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll be honest, that's one of my favorite. That's like one of my like I love that weather when it's just before the rain. And it's like warm, but you can smell it. Yeah. You can feel it coming. Yeah, I like that. So that'll be good to experience.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like I was at Cameron's house this past weekend or 2 days ago. I forgot when it was, but yeah, we walk outside and he said, "You smell that?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna rain." And then 30 minutes later, starts drizzling.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can just smell it. I'm sure people watching this can just agree with that. But Cameron, you got any more?
No, dude, I appreciate this so much. You've been nothing but the best working through this. Hopefully we get to stay in touch throughout the year. Kind of maybe can fill us in a little bit more. Dude, you're awesome. There's nothing else to say. This was a lot of fun. Yep. You got anything, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate you coming on here and talking to us because you answered a lot of questions that people have about the XFL. So that's cool. Plus, like we've stated about 4 or 5 times now, you're our first professional athlete to come on here.
Yeah.
And we hope great things for you. Can't wait to watch you play in person. Maybe we can come talk to you or something. Take you to a Rockets or Astros game one time. But yeah, I think you answered all the questions I had.
I'd love it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, cool. Do you have anything you want to say before we go into Brandon?
Just want to thank you guys for having me on. Just let me know if you need anything. You guys are fun to talk to. I can talk people's head off, so I'm always down to do this. If you want to do it again, just let me know. I will update you on some of the things we talked about, like the D-line riff from Last Chance U. I'll let you know how his songs are, and I'll let you know how his experience was. And in the meantime, you guys are gonna have to text me because I got your numbers. You're gonna have to text me some food spots to hit, and I'll give you the Houston Roughnecks, the team's review. I'll take some of the guys to the spots, and we'll give you our reviews on it. So.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, well, about 50 minutes in, I think we've talked enough. But yeah, we'd love to get you for if you're still on the team, if you're not with the NFL yet, halfway through the season, I think we'd love to have you on, or after your first game, something like that. Love to have you on and just see how everything went.
Yeah, you guys just let me know when you need me, and obviously I don't know what my schedule's going to be like yet, but we'll work around that and we'll figure it out. So.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we're going to go ahead and end it here. If Cameron, you got anything else? You always got something.
No, yeah, I always got something. I was about to say no. Once again, check us out on Twitter, Clutch City Cast. Almost at 600 followers in less than 28 days. I think that's just so crazy. Like how fast all this stuff is kind of blown up. We have a TikTok that will probably clip some of this stuff to CityCast Studios. And then obviously this will be uploaded to Spotify and YouTube. So once again, thank y'all all. Thank you, Brandon, and hope to see y'all soon.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see y'all at the next episode. See y'all.